A transfer of rulership is coming, and the kingdom of heaven will be on earth. Righteousness will be spread throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Wickedness will be put down.
Consider the lilies, how they grow. They toil not, they spin not. And yet I say unto you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God so clothed the grass which is today in the field and tomorrow is cast into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And seek not ye what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, neither be ye doubtful mind. For all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. But rather seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. But where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
According to the Holy Scriptures, Yahawashi, the Son of the Most High, is set to bring immortality to the nation of Israel, the elect, via establishing the tabernacle of David, as we talk about the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He is coming to take down this current world ruled by Esau, Edom, and establish a righteous kingdom, which is synonymous with the throne of David. That's scriptural, which is a government that's going to run this world in righteousness.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right. And what I want to get into today is dealing with Esau, Edom, the devil at work. All right. And his vain, attempt, to try to create, existence again. Like this devil. He's far out there, and most people take this man lightly when it comes to how wicked he is. Okay, when it comes to what this man is trying to pull off. Okay, but this man, all right, through left hand means, okay, wants to be the Most High. Okay, that's his obsession. You see, he's upset, okay, with complete power. All right. And going back to the blessing in Genesis, all right, which in the spirit it was always meant for Jacob anyway. Okay, but the devil, which sold his birthright, all right, for lentils. Okay, now he wants that birthright again. He wants, all right, that immortality that comes with that birthright. All right, but he wants to do it by his own means. Okay, because there's a standard, okay, that comes with righteousness. All right, with immortality. Matter of fact, let me get that first. Okay, but Let's see. In the Wisdom of Solomon. All right, so let's get there real quick. All right. And this devil, he wants to do things his way. Even going back to Cain, that spirit that was in Cain. All right. He wanted to sacrifice, what he wanted to sacrifice. Okay. Just an asshole that wants to do things his way. Okay. But he wants, when you read here, it said, for righteousness is immortal. Okay. So immortality is linked to righteousness. Okay. And the only way to achieve immortality, first, there's only one nation. Okay. It's allotted. Okay. To have immortality. And that's the chosen nation of Israel. And that's one of the main things. All right. That separates us from these other people is that we have immortality promised. And there's going to be the major separator even in the kingdom. Okay. Because the nation will be there. Okay. But they're going to be in servitude. They're not going to be immortal. Okay. They're not going to be part of their first covenant. All right. And what Edom wants to do, he wants to try to establish, the blessing we have coming to us as Israelites. He wants to establish that for himself through technology and left hand means. Okay. And he's going to go all out to try to achieve that. Okay. And this devil has a lot on his plate, man. The Most High got this devil busy. All right. The Most High got this devil busy, scurrying around the earth, into this and into that. Okay. And this devil, he's finna loose. Okay. All this gonna be for naught. You see? So let's go from there. Matter of fact, since we're here in the Apocrypha. Okay, because you have this thing, this concert that happened in Gaza, in Giza. All right, over there in Egypt. Okay, and it was called Quantum Genesis. Okay, Quantum Genesis. And see, this devil, he wants a redo. All right, in his mind. Okay, through technology, through this, the knowledge of these what you call it, mysticism. He thinks that through collecting so much knowledge, that's why he's so big on data, because he thinks through this exoteric, deep mystic knowledge and all this data and astrology, and he's just trying to go all out. He's pulling out all stops. Okay, but he thinks that by these means he can achieve his immortality, and he can extend his blessing to be eternal. He can recreate everything that was. He can redo creation. He can re-engineer creation. That's his mindset. And I got a video to go into that concert. Okay, I just want to get some precepts, to go into the origin, of how we got here today. Okay, so when you go even back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, okay, you're going back to, all right, the serpent. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon 2:23. For the Most High created man to be immortal. That's dealing with Adam. So Adam got that breath. You see, he was given what? Righteousness, because he was charged to keep the garden. Which is he was supposed to protect life. He was supposed to oversee, the earth in righteousness. Okay, so he wasn't given that breath, all right, just to be the deepest person on earth. No, he was given that breath. It was responsibility that came with that breath. Okay, from the Most High, which is the wisdom, knowledge and understanding. He had the laws. Okay, that's how Abel knew what to sacrifice. Okay, because that breath, that way was given to Adam. Okay, that's how Eve, she knew the right way. Okay, but she was what? Deceived. Okay, so for the Most High created man to be immortal, he created that lineage starting with Adam to be immortal. Okay, and Yahweh Shah, what he did, he reestablished, okay, that blessing through his what? Obedience to righteousness, man. Okay, it says it made him to be an image of his own eternity. Okay, because we were supposed to be the lineage, the sons of God was supposed to be that representation of the Most High on the earth in righteousness and immortality, but we failed. Okay, and through Yahweh Shah's sacrifice, that's the glory that we're going back to. Okay, when Yahweh Shah prayed, to be restored back to that glory from the beginning, he was talking about, all right, when he was first given that breath. Okay, to be immortal. You see, what is there for the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity, man. Because we're gonna have, the glory of being celestial and terrestrial. Those extraterrestrial bodies. Okay, that's what we got coming. And see, Esau wants to tap into it in a very tacky, knockoff version. Okay, through his technology. It said, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold on his side don't find it. Okay, so through envy of who? The devil, the serpent, which we know to be, all right, Esau in the spirit. Okay, Esau was the serpent, all right, reincarnated, man. Okay, and now it's a whole nation of these niggas, man. Okay, and now they run the earth. Okay, so through envy of the devil, the main thing he was envy of, that breath, that order, that glory. You see, he was envious of that. You see, so he used Eve, all right, to get the Adam, and you had what? The fall. Okay, he said, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold on his side, they'll find it, man. And if you'll link yourself to anything that Esau gives as a way to live is death, as a way to be is death. Everything that this man has ascribed in his kingdom as a way to exist, okay, has brought nothing but death, confusion, war, dysfunction, chaos. Okay, so let's go from there. All right, because as we know, going back to Genesis, let's get this in Genesis, and I say then we'll get that. We'll get into a few things. Once you go here to Genesis, all right. Real quick. So as Isaac gives out the blessing to Jacob, all right, which Esau, he sold his birthright, in chapter 25. Matter of fact, let's get that, and then we'll jump. So let's get Genesis 25. All right, when the devil sells his birthright. Okay. It says Genesis 25 and 29, and Jacob sighed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I'm faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point of death. I am at the point to die. When what profit shall this birthright do to me? Okay, so Esau didn't see no value in the birthright. He wanted what he wanted at the time. Okay. You see, he was impulsive. Okay, and that's his spirit. Okay, he wanted what he wanted. All right. He didn't have any patience. He showed any discipline. He wanted what he wanted. Okay. And the birthright didn't mean nothing to him. He wasn't farsighted. Okay. It says, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Okay. So he sold it. Then Jacob gave Esau bread, pottage, and lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And Esau despised, all right, thus Esau despised his birthright, because he was in the moment, and he didn't have faith in that birthright. He didn't believe in that birthright, man. All right, he's a faithless nigga, man. Okay, so he sold the birthright, and now, all right, as he sees we're getting ready to come into our blessing, man, he's really doubling down on trying to pull off his NWO. Okay, now when you get to Genesis 27:41, after Isaac blesses, Jacob, and then he blesses Esau as well. But see, Esau didn't get immortality. See, only Jacob got immortality. Okay, Esau's blessing will be short-lived. All right, and it will be grimy, tacky. Okay, through the sword. You see, Genesis 27:41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then when I slay my brother Jacob. Okay, so Esau hated Jacob, all right, because of what? That blessing. All right, that what it entailed when it was time to receive that blessing. He felt it. He felt that he crashed out. He sold the birthright, man, the birthright for a meal. You see? So in this moment when Isaac is giving out that blessing, okay, and Jacob gets it, and he's like, damn. And it was this hatred. The Lord did that for the sake of controversy. He wanted, these two people, these two nations to be, all right, to have controversy and tension and enmity towards one another. Even going back to the garden, the woman was told, all right, Eve was told that it would be enmity between her seed, which, the seed, okay, of Israel, the sons of God, which will later be Israelites, okay, which, is not her seed, okay, but the seed of Adam, which is the progenitor of the sons of God, okay, there will be enmity between her seed and the serpent, which will play out between Jacob and Esau, okay, and one of the main, all right, stripes is this birthright, okay, and there was immortality attached to that birthright, okay, and that blessing. You see, and Esau didn't get it, and he hurt. Okay, so we finna see this man spaz out, and we finna see this man throw everything and trying to pull this off, man. Okay, so let's go here. We'll get the video, and I got a few more after that. All right, which just came off of TikTok.
That's what it was symbolizing. People are saying that this absolutely wasn't random because quantum genesis means the birth of something new from the unseen, and their final act was called the end of Genesis, which pretty much means the end of creation. So this was almost like a message that the era of human origin is over, and whatever is next is not organic, that it'll be artificial. And okay, so have y'all ever wondered Okay, so have y'all seen the videos about the concert that went down at the pyramids of Giza in Egypt? Because a lot of people are saying that this is not about music. This is definitely giving spiritual warfare. The concert was called Anima Quantum Genesis, but it was way more than lasers and beats. Something felt very much different because people were stating it was giving rituals or maybe even revelations, pretty much truth hidden in plain sight. And it's about an android named Eva that's supposed to merge humans with machinery, with technology. And it was giving like consciousness meets creation, but they had all types of symbolisms from serpents to all types of, angels and just fire and just hidden, geometry, just many different things that made people feel very much uncomfortable. And while many people seemed to enjoy it, a lot of people felt as if it was quite demonic. All of these visuals were projected onto the pyramids themselves. Now think about that. One of the oldest human symbols of power and eternity, now pulsing with digital life, AI imagery, and machine consciousness. Quite literally like the old world and the new world shaking hands or pretty much fusing together. That's what it was symbolizing. People are saying that this absolutely wasn't random because quantum genesis means the birth of something new from the unseen, and their final act was called the end of Genesis, which pretty much means the end of creation. So this was almost like a message that the era of human origin is over and whatever is next is not organic, that it'll be artificial and completely engineered. There's this eerie feeling that the show was way more than entertainment and pretty much more so a transmission, like a warning about the next stages of evolution, like the setting with the pyramids perfectly aligned with the stars, kind of like a cosmic connection. But that's what I'm seeing in the comments. Maybe there's just a lot of fear mongering going on, but the timing just felt really deliberate. Like the words, the imagery, it all just points to transformation, transcendence, or even maybe replacement. So what do you guys think when you see all of these images? Was this just an artistic statement, a musical expression, or something way deeper, like quite literal rituals and activations hidden right before our very own eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Per usual, this is all alleged. I'm just going based off what I see online. Can't confirm or deny anything. But if you haven't heard about quantum genesis, definitely important you to do your research. Whatever else I find out, I will be back though. So make sure you like, follow, stay for some more. Okay, so have y'all
Yeah, man. So this Quantum Genesis, all right, concert that they had in Egypt, all right, which we know the devil, is tapped into that ancient, all right, magic, okay, of Egypt, okay. The devil Aleister Crowley, when he went into Egypt and came back, Esau took off, okay, all type of inventions, because I think he went into Egypt in like 1900 something, and after that, when he came back, he went into that sexual magic, okay, which is just a complete nastiness, man. When you go into that, okay. But while what we see, okay, this devil, he's really tapped into that ancient magic and witchcraft of Egypt. Okay, so having this concert over there, all right, it wasn't, by coincidence. Okay, and she talks about what merging, a man with machine, creating a new world, okay, engineering a new world, okay, and this is what these devils are at with. They go on with their move. All right, this is why you see them going. All right, they transitioning to technocracy. Okay, so let's look into some things real quick, because you go into quantum genesis, it gives you different, definitions, but trying to find the one. I think it's this one. All right, it says quantum genesis. It says an artistic philosophical framework. There's another entity titled quantum genesis, described as a creative framework merging science, philosophy, spirituality, and art. Quantum genesis is an innovative artistic research project that transforms a complete body of universal knowledge into digital art, motion pictures, and conceptual design. It talks about visualizing energy, consciousness, the structure of reality through art. So here is a more conceptual, creative, all right, initiative. Now, when you go from there, all right, which we know this devil, think that, he can acquire, enough knowledge, okay, I say the ancient, science and geometries, and, he think he can accumulate all these things and conjure up all these things and create a new existence, okay, and AI plays a major part in it, okay. So I asked the chat a question. I said, the way things are trending, could AI and technocracy create a whole new existence? It said that's a profound question. And yes, it's entirely possible that AI and technocrat system could usher in what might be called a new existence. Depending on how we define that, let's unpack, all right, a few ways, all right, this could unfold. Now we understand the devil knows that he's lost. He sold the birthright. He know he's lost. So his thing, well, I'm gonna create a new existence. Why I win? Okay, he know, all right, all the signs of the second coming of Yahweh Shai is upon him, and that's why he's scrambling. He see the preaching of his word is doing a mighty work. Okay, and it's pushing the devil to crash out. This word is pushing Esau to crash out, man. Okay, this man, he's finna try to pull this off. Okay, and he knows that the signs of Yahweh Shai, okay, he's seeing the chariots, he's seeing these things. Okay, so his mind, he's gonna establish a whole new existence before Yahweh Shai get here. Okay, that's his mind, which is an absolute psychopath, man, madman. Okay, it says AI doesn't just automate tasks, it changes our relationship to consciousness, creativity, all right, and identity. If AI system become deeply integrated into human life through brain-computer interfaces, AI companions, and digital consciousness, our sense of self might shift from biological, okay, individuality to a hybrid digital biological being. We might see synthetic consciousness, AI entities with subjective experiences, or the convincing simulation of it. Digital immortality. People upload memories or personality profiles to persist beyond their biological lifespan. Okay, and this devil has done the research. He knows, with this AI, man, it's gonna like, that's why he wants to get into your neurons. Okay, he wants to completely re-engineer the creation of the Most High. Okay, this is what he wants to do with this technology, man. This nigga still throwing a tantrum about their birthright. So he in his mind, he's gonna re-engineer existence, man. Re-engineer creation. Okay, in his likeness. Okay, and it says shared cognitive networks, collective intelligence formed by interlinked humans and machines. Okay, so interlinking humans, okay, and machines, where you have, your mind linked to, okay, AI, okay, and you can pull, knowledge from AI, and just, you know, it says a technocracy. It says ruled by those with technical expertise or algorithmic, all right, systems could replace augment traditional political systems. AI could manage economic optimization, resource allocation, taxation, environmental balance, law enforcement, predictive models, automated justice. Okay, going to the thought crime. Okay, decision making, policy molded, all right, modeled on data, not ideology, man. When they speak of ideology, they mainly speaking of the Bible. Okay, you see, they throw shots at the Bible when they speak about ideology, man. Okay, so this is what this devil, when he says a new world, it's gonna be completely different. Not just no more Democrat and Republic. No, he wants to change, all right, existence. The way that you exist in reality, he wants to change that. Okay, it says if done well, this might create hyper efficient societies, man. Okay, and this is how he's going to sell these things to you. Okay, if done poorly, it could produce digital Tarianism, okay, which that's what it's meant to be, okay, complete digital control, okay, that's what it's being created for. Esau not trying to make you random niggas immortal, man, okay. For you it's gonna be a dystopia. For him, it's gonna be a utopia. That's what he plans. Okay, it says a world where decisions are made by opaque systems rather than accountable humans. Okay, it says virtual and augmented reality powered by AI could create persistent digital worlds that blend with the physical one. In time, people might live primarily in these synthetic realities, man. You know, this is Esau trying to say he is. That he can create a whole new reality, a whole new existence with his technology. Okay, you see, people just the way the way people are in their phones and into video games and into the virtual world, and see, because people already are slaves to the virtual world. People love their reality on their phone than their true reality. Okay, so people are already conditioned for this, man, because people love their reality on their cell phone, who they are on social media and on these apps, and who they are in reality. Okay, it says at that point, existing itself means being part. All right, it says in time, people might live primarily in these synthetic realities where identity, economy, and meaning exist in a computational layer. All right, dealing with computers. Okay, it says at that point, existence itself might mean being part of a continuously evolving digital ecosystem rather than tied to one body or world. Okay, so this devil, through AI, through technology, through witchcraft, this is what he wants to bring. Okay, a synthetic world. Okay, he's always in power. Okay, it said we may be approaching a civilization bifurcation point where humanity either integrates with AI to evolve into a new form of being, a techno sapien species, okay, or sees control to system it no longer fully understands or governs. This is why thinkers like Nick Bostrom, Yuval Noah Harari, that demon, and others talk about the human transition, a stage where intelligent, not biology becomes the main driver of existence, man. Okay, and he's not going to get to that point. All right, he's not gonna get nowhere near that. All right, that's madness and BS, man. Okay, well, this is the man that's in power. Okay, it's far deeper than civil rights. All right, making Rosa Parks get her ass to the back of the bus, man. It's deeper than that. Okay, this man he's on something else, man. Okay, so you go here to Matthew 24. So prepare to see some things, man. The devil gonna pull out all stops in his attempt to achieve his enterprise, man. Okay. Matthew 24:24 said, for there shall arise, all right, false anointings and false prophets, and shall show very great signs and wonders, in so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So let's go into some of these words, man. So he's finna bring out some things, man. This devil, he's finna roll out some things. All right. He said, for there shall arise false anointed and false prophets, okay, and shall show, okay, great signs. Now, when you go here to false Christ or pseudo Christos. All right.
Strong's G 5580. Pseudachristos. Pseudachristos.
So Doc Christos. All right. It says a false Messiah. All right. And it says one who falsely lays claim to the name and office of the Messiah. One who falsely lays claims to the name and the office of the Messiah. Okay? And mainly want to emphasize on the office of the Messiah. He's going to present his technology as the savior of humanity. Okay? Because you're going to have a lot of people coming in spirit like they the anointed and they just chosen one, especially, this podcast generation, everybody, throw their term, chosen one. Like everybody got it figured out. Certain people got it figured out. But one of the main anti-messiahs that this devil is going to present to the world is his technology, man. His AI. Okay? His AI can take the office of the Messiah, can fix and heal everything. Okay? Can restore order back to the chaos. You see? And it's going to be convincing. That's why I say if so, they can deceive the very elect. Okay? Because you go into his technology, which is his signs. Okay? His signs and wonders. All right. You go to signs in Greek.
Strong's G 4592. Semeion.
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 Okay. Which is a sign. All right. You mark a token. Okay. It says a sign when you go into it. It says a prodigy, portent, an unusual occurrence transcending the coming course of nature. Okay. Transcending the coming course of nature, man. Okay. And he's going to present AI as like, look, we're transcending now. He's going to present his technology merging with machine, humans merging with machine, where we're transcending past, okay, what you was created. Like he's going to make it seem as if he's going to, like he's going to enhance the creation of the Most High. Okay, that's how he's going to present this thing. Like he's going to enhance and go beyond, okay, what's normal, what's natural. Okay. And it's going to be a deception because for the masses, it's going to be a digital prison. Okay. Now he wants to try to transcend. Okay. Well, for the masses, it's going to be a digital prison, but he's going to present it. Okay. As if this is all about transcending, human limitations. We're going to go beyond what the God of the Bible. We've outdone that now. Okay. And that's going to be a sale pitch, and it's going to deceive many. Okay. So this devil, he's up, to a lot, hell of a lot. All right. Like I said, he got a lot on this plate. He's trying to get this thing off the ground. All right. And it's going to be a big lift, man. Okay. But the Lord going to allow him, to get to a point, and he's going to be taken down. He's going to lose. Okay. Yeah. Howard Shah is going to come back. Okay. Deal with this guy, man. Okay. Let's go here. This is Revelation 12. Okay, and 7, and there was war in heaven. Because see, speaking in the atmosphere, because Yahweh Shai is going to intervene in the midst of this madness, man. The Heavenly Father is not going to allow this devil to just, establish this and keep ruling. And man, hey, Yahweh Shai, the Heavenly Father is going to send Yahweh Shai back in the midst of this madness, man. It says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. Okay, which the dragon has been revived. All right, this new Roman Empire. The dragon represents, the Roman Empire. Okay, but it's back revived as America, NATO, and EU, and they're going to be at the forefront. Okay, of this war. Okay, in heaven. All right, and also they're going to be the first ones to get it, to be obliterated. the militaries of Esau. It says in the dragon fought and his angels, his military. Okay, so the chariots, all right, gonna come and wage war, headed by Yahweh Shai. You know, the archangels are gonna be there, and the rest of the heavenly host. Okay, it says, and prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Okay, so this devil knows that he loses. Okay, so he's trying to build something else, a new reality, you know, where he wins. Nah, Yahweh Shai gonna come intervene in the midst of it. You gonna have to deal with Yahweh Shai in reality. Okay, all that virtual bullshit you trying to build and quantum and all that. Nah, you bring your ass here. Okay, you finna have to deal with this. You see? Nah, all that, you know, computing, quantum computing, and all that old shit. Nah, you finna have to deal with Yahweh Shai in reality. Okay? They said neither was their place found anymore in heaven, okay, which is in rulership, and all right, their all their military is gonna be obliterated out of the sky. Okay. Those satellites are gonna be obliterated out the atmosphere. Okay. Everything this man has established is gonna be destroyed, man. Okay. It says, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. See that? Showing you it goes back to that serpent. You know, the spirit of these Edomites. Okay, Esau is a serpent. All right. Revived, man. Okay. Now it's a dragon. The serpent has mutated to a dragon. Okay, it says called the devil, all right, the deceiver, and Satan, the adversary, all right, because Esau is a deceiver, okay, and he's the physical counterpart of Satan in the earth, all right, that's his God, all right, it said, with deceiving the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him, okay, you see, so this is the devil, all right, defeated, you see, so he knows he loses, man, and all throughout the Bible, okay, the devil takes nothing but L's, man. Okay, so then I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night, man. You know, Yahweh Shai is going to usher the true new world order and righteousness, man. Okay, and this going to stand forever. All right, and we're going to be changed at the twinkling of an eye. Okay, we know how to goddamn get our skull cut open. Okay, you know, none of this madness. All right, go through 8 hours of surgery, go to rehab, take this pill for that, and you know, this pill for that. You know, no, we don't have to do all that, man. We're just gonna be changed. We're just gonna be. Okay, so that's the point. Just want to get into that. Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified. Till next time, I say shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, soon, shalom.